Hey, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Almighty Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings as always to the hopefully elect out there listening and learning. So it's your brother Azariah, just back with a few things in the news, but mainly what we're going to deal with today are these, massive judgments that the Lord is hitting the earth with. And listen, brothers, we're at the end of Esau's world. So, like we always say, every day that goes by is another day closer to the destruction of this wicked world and the wicked people that inhabit it. And you're seeing the end be manifest through signs in the earth and signs in the heavens. These plagues and judgments are being sent by the Lord, ultimately because the earth is in gross darkness. They don't love the truth. They disregard the truth. They hide the truth. They scoff and they scorn at the men of the Lord, the prophets. All right. So these people are reaping what they have sown, and many people, they're deceived about what's really going on because they've bought into this climate change narrative. Oh, the earth is getting hotter. This is why now we're seeing regular triple digit temperatures in the summertime and all this and that, the oceans and all that other stuff. Nah, what this is this is the judgment of the Lord. But they're not going to tell you about this in the Christian church because they want to keep you in darkness. See, they don't want you to repent, because if people were told the truth about what's really going on, then people will say, damn, God is angry. I need to repent. I need to get myself right. No, they don't want you to think like that. They want you to think everything is okay. It's a sunny day. Nothing's going on, so that ultimately you can be destroyed. All right. So the true men of the Lord, we're here to give you the real rundown on what's going on and why it's happening, so that you can adjust yourself accordingly. So really this whole month, the weather has been crazy, but this past week, especially on the East Coast, man, listen, you step outside, it feel like an oven, man. You know what I'm saying? Like feel like an oven on the highest degree. You see? It speaks about that in Revelation, what is that, the 6th chapter, where it says that the sun shall scorch men, and that they would curse the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we're in those times, brothers, where the Most High is laying down the judgment. See, and let me start off here with this scripture. This is 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, in verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not their incredulity or the unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Verse 5, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Is the Christian church telling you that the Lord is doing these things, or are they telling you that this is the devil? They telling you that, hey, this is Satan. You see? But even if it was Satan, the Most High controls Satan. Satan works for the Most High. so you see, it all goes back to Yahweh Bashmel Shai at the end of the day. All right? But false prophets, they ain't gonna tell you the truth. Where was I at? Yeah, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. The Lord is bringing all these things. The sword, we see that World War III is already on, that mass death is about to envelop the earth. A famine is being prepared. And ultimately, destruction is at the door. The Lord is preparing all these things, man. And these things are reserved for the wicked. Verse 6, For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, just like how it was in the days before the flood, just like how it was in the days of Lot. Okay, same thing is going on now. The whole earth is exceedingly polluted with wickedness, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Verse 7, therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. So the Lord is not going to allow these people to continue on with their wickedness no more. See, this is why you see so many people going back to the spirit world. You know, the most recent one, you know, as far as entertainers wise, you had Enchanting. You know, she got sent back to the spirit world, and that nigga Julio Fulio. You know what I'm saying? The Lord just took him out yesterday on his birthday. At that, you see what I'm saying? So all these wicked individuals that live in these profane and perverse lifestyles, the Lord is taking them out. And these are the 2/3 Israelites that the Lord is judging, man. All right, this is why we continue to tell you, if you ain't right, the Lord is going to deal with you, man. Like, we're in a season of judgment. You have to understand that. You start going off and start thinking that you high and mighty and that you can't be touched and all. Listen, the Lord is going to pull your card. We seen it happen every single day. So you better examine yourself lest you be the next one to receive judgment. Verse 8, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Yeah, so, you know, the Lord is coming back for the elect, all right? Because the elect are the ones crying out. The elect are the ones that are, you know, continuously sighing and crying, complaining about the wickedness going on in this place, chanting down Babylon. All right, chanting down the wickedness that's being permeated throughout the earth. You see? So we're at the door, you know. The Lord is about to return soon. You know, all things are on the verge of being fulfilled. So with that, you know, we'll go ahead, check out a couple TikTok clips. I got some articles as well and some precepts, of course. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying.
Today's severe weather threat in the Midwest could be a boom or it could be a bust. We'll see the scenarios range from what could be a destructive line of storms to just maybe a few capable of producing hail. We'll hope for the latter. Severe storms possible today across nearly the entire state of Wisconsin on the heels of what was a wild weekend. The National Weather Service confirmed 5 tornadoes hit the southern part of the state, and the strongest was here in Janesville, Wisconsin. It's in the county of Rock in Wisconsin, and EF2 damage was found after a preliminary survey by the National Weather Service. In the state, we've had more than 30 tornadoes so far this year. That's a big number or threshold because the average in the Badger State is just 23 years, or 23 tornadoes, I should say, when we look at that 30-year average. And when we consider where the weather is happening, I mean, you get this idea. The plains, the severe weather threat has eased, but that's because the ridge is built in. We've got to watch the northern periphery of this ridge.
That pushes all the jet stream activity, subtropical jet, which is responsible for most of the action up across the northern tiers. So right around the Canadian border typically is where we see the severe weather. And that's what we're going to find again today. Notice the red shaded area. That's 2 out of 5. It's so broad, so wide. That will probably get fine-tuned later this afternoon because we're not exactly sure where it's going to bust out first. Could be with a warm front, but the capping is so strong in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, it might suppress all the activity until late in the day when a cold front comes by. Either way, the storms, if they do develop, they're going to be tremendous rain makers, hail makers, and damaging wind makers too.
We
All right, folks, so this evening around 5, 6 o'clock, we are looking at the potential for a significant severe weather event starting around Minneapolis and then moving down through southern Wisconsin, right about this area right here. Now, this isn't likely to be a major tornado producer. There may be some tornado producers, but that's not going to be the main threat with this event. The main threat with this event is likely to be straight line winds between 50 and 60 mile an hour, potentially higher. This is looking to be what turns into likely a derecho situation. Now, most models currently have storms firing up right about this general area over the Minneapolis metro, basically. If you live in the Minneapolis metro, you probably see some storms fire up about 5 or 6 o'clock before they continue to fire up and converge into a single line that looks like a bow echo and will travel southeastward across Wisconsin with very strong straight line winds as the primary threat. Now, there may be some embedded tornadoes with this, but it's likely that most of the damage that occurs with this system will be from straight line winds. Now, I know straight line winds aren't the big sexy thing that everyone looks for with these storms. It's primarily tornadoes, but they can cause significant damage and leave very large swaths of the area without power for weeks. So just be on the lookout this evening for storms if you live in that very southeastern Minnesota and southern Wisconsin.
Extreme weather, this time bringing deadly flooding along with brutal heat, baking millions of Americans really from coast to coast. At least one person killed in South Dakota and evacuations ordered in parts of Iowa after days of rain caused rivers to overflow in several parts of the Midwest.
Historic rainfall fell here over the last few days. It led to catastrophic flooding, washing out entire neighborhoods. And you can see this home has sandbags around it, hoping to keep the water out as it continues to rise. And it's not just here. Record-setting flooding inundated parts of Iowa and South Dakota.
A state of emergency remains where up to 18 inches of rain fell here. The National Guard is expected to arrive today and help with the rising flood waters. Parts of Iowa are underwater, too. Drone video over Rock Valley shows only roofs and trees are visible from above. There were 250 water rescues on Saturday alone. The state's governor issued a disaster declaration in 21 counties after more than a dozen rivers flooded in the northwest part of the state. In South Dakota, at least one person was killed after heavy rains and flooding inundated the eastern part of the state. Floodwaters there will continue to pose a threat. Across other parts of the Midwest, severe weather spawned 6 tornadoes that struck southern Wisconsin over the weekend.
Extreme
Nay, call Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This is the judgment of the Lord, man. You know, this is amazing to witness, you know. And this should put fear in you, man, because this is what the Lord is able to do. The Lord is jacking these people up, and it's been long overdue. You know, these Americans, Babylonians, especially these Edomites, they complaining about hard times, not being able to, you know, having to skip meals and not being able to afford the mortgage no more, not being able to afford to send their kids to college, even put gas in their car. They listen, this proud America, this place is being humbled drastically. Everywhere that you look, man, the Lord is bringing this place down, making this place weak. See? And this is all being done for the sake of the Lord's people, you know, but mainly on this go around, the elect. You know, of course, we know the scriptures say that all Israel shall be saved. But during this time, only a remnant is going to be saved, man. Like the majority of our people are going to be destroyed in these catastrophes that are going to come. Wars, famines, pestilences, wild weather events such as this. You know, this is why the hopefully elect, man, look, this is the time where we got to keep our integrity. You know, we have to keep our eyes on the prize and know what's really important, because we down to the wire. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 10. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." Remember what it say in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter 68. I will bring you into Egypt again with ships. Right? So we're now in modern day spiritual Egypt. All right, because Babylon the Great, and other places that we were scattered, this is where, we were taken as captives. We were made to serve hard bondage, just like how our ancestors were in ancient Egypt. This is that new Egypt. Look on the back of your dollar bill, and what do you see? You see a pyramid with an all-seeing eye. All right. What do they have in Washington, D.C.? The obelisk. All right. These things go back to Egypt. You see, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. This is what the Lord is doing. The Lord is smiting this place with plagues, just like he did ancient Egypt. Okay? That's why these things are happening with more intensity, more frequency, and it's destroying a whole lot of people. Right? Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting in hell and with a fearful constellation. Yeah, these farmers, they're mourning for more than one reason. I mean, on one hand, you got the wicked elite. They're coming down with their unrighteous decrees, and they're saying that, oh, you can't use this water source no more. Now we have to federally absorb this land, or you have to sell your land, kill your livestock off, right? Then also you having these crazy storms going on. These tornadoes tearing the place up, flooding happening. You see what I'm saying? Hail coming down, just destroying, livestock, destroying infrastructure, destroying the crops. So the scriptures is spot on. Okay, everything that the scriptures outline would happen as far as judgment in the last days is happening, man. So look, anybody out there that want to say that, oh, y'all false prophets and you this and you that, oh yeah, okay, believe that if you want to. But when these prophecies come to pass, man, you gonna know, as the scriptures say, that a prophet had been among you. All right. When these things come to your doorstep, you gonna know that a prophet had been among you and that you was told the truth. One thing about it, especially Jake, you can't say that you didn't hear this. All right, you can't say that you wasn't warned. Verse 14: Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right. So, ultimately destruction is coming. This, especially this place, America, Babylon the Great, this place is finished. We can get some headlines. We don't really got to get too deep into it, because we already know what's going on. But Midwestern flooding collapses a bridge, forces evacuations, and kills at least 2. So the Lord destroying this place, man. All right, the Lord bringing this place down with these mighty judgments. And many people are perplexed, they're confused, they don't really understand why this is happening. All right, but they're gonna know very soon why this is happening. Okay, flooding in the Midwestern U.S. killed at least two, collapsed a railroad bridge and sent water surging around the dam Monday after days of heavy rains that have forced hundreds of people to evacuate or be rescued from rising waters. An Illinois man died Saturday while trying to go around a barricade in Spencer, Iowa. Sioux City KTIVT reported Monday. Yeah, so look, a lot of judgments going forth, man. Many people are going back to the spirit world. Los Angeles was shaken by a 2.9 magnitude earthquake Monday morning. Here are some safety reminders. See, and did not the Lord say that in the last days that there would be earthquakes in diverse places, right? Everywhere you look, you seeing earthquakes all around the earth, volcanoes erupting, fault lines opening up. I forget where it was at, but I seen something on X where like I think it was in, man, what state was that? I can't even remember right now, Salakia, but the ground opened up, man. I forget what state it was, but the ground opened up. I think like one or two people, fell in there and they perished. You see what I'm saying? So look, these judgments are going out, man. Like we keep telling you, play around if you want to. The Lord will pull your card, man. That's what time that we're in. Yeah. If you've ever been woken up by an earthquake before, you'll know it's no fun. For Utah residents, it happened a little over 4 years ago when a surprise 5.7 earthquake shook Salt Lake City around 7 in the morning. For Los Angeles residents, it was around 5 in the morning. So most people at 5 in the morning are still asleep, right? So while you sleeping, the Lord is carrying out judgments. See? According to the Los Angeles Times, what was originally reported as a 3.2 magnitude shook the east side in San Gabriel Valley. The earthquake was weak enough that no damage was recorded, though residents may have felt slight shaking in East Los Angeles, Alhambra, Monterey Park, and South Pasadena. You know what I'm saying? So that's a 2.9. But they've been talking about in the news that a mega quake is coming. They've been talking about that a mega quake with a tsunami up there in like Washington and Oregon, like in the Pacific Northwest. They actually talking about that, man. Like you know what I'm saying, I even posted that on the community tab. So a lot of things are about to go down, and as we always reference, go back to it. After that eclipse happened, a lot has been going down. All right, which we told you this is a sign of that was a sign of the end. And since Passover, since that happened, like it's been action packed. You know what I'm saying? What to know as excessive heat, flash flood potential linger in Utah this week. And look at these Edomites, man. They inside the garage, having a beer, chilling. You see. Meanwhile, look, a whole river of water just rushing right past them. You see that? So look, man. These Edomites, man, they out here getting jacked up. Miguel Jimenez and Andy McNeil chat in McNeil's garage as water from snowmelt rushes past them on Killian's Lane in Emigration Canyon on Tuesday, May 2nd. Excessive heat remains a fixture in Utah's northern half, while flash flooding is possible across its southern half to start this week. It says here, extreme heat will linger across the Wasatch Front for a few more days, while flash flooding potential lingers across southern Utah to start this week, as different weather patterns continue to play out across the state. The National Weather Service on Monday issued excessive heat warnings and heat advisories through the Wasatch Front, northern Utah, the West Desert, and parts of central Utah that will remain in effect through Tuesday night. And pretty much, all of America been getting lit up with that heat. You see, there is an elevated risk for flash flood. There's an elevated risk for flash flood across portions of southern Utah, including Capitol Reef, the Grand Staircase, Escalante National Monument, and Glen Canyon Rec areas today. Yeah. The Lord jacking this place up, man. All right, let's go to Nahum. Nahum 1:1. The burden of Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. Yahweh is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. So the Lord has his way in all these things. He controls them. He sends them. These are plagues and judgments. See that? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is not playing around, man. All right. These judgments are going forth. All right, this is why when Ezra seen the vision of the end and he seen all what was going on, he said what? He said, woe is me. You know? He was in that woe is me spirit, man, because he was like, man, this is crazy. Like, who can escape this? Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no way you're going to get out of it unless the Lord is with you. That's the only way. Jeremiah 4:26, it says, I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness, and all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord, and by his fierce anger. For thus hath the Lord said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet will I not make a full end. For this the earth mourn, and the heavens above be black, because I have spoken it. I have purposed it. See, the Lord has spoken it, and he has purposed it. This is the Lord's purpose for these judgments to go forth. Right? And will not repent, neither will I turn back from it. You see? So look, the Lord ain't playing, man. The Lord is not going to suffer these people to do their wickedness no more, man. This is why things like this is happening, right? All these damn ads, man. This thing is crazy. Like, you know? I mean, like 1 or 2 ads here and there is cool, but this is like overload. But anyway, this is why things like this is happening, right? Hold on. They were my rock and soul. Maryland couple among hundreds dead while on pilgrimage, and it was more than hundreds. Okay, we're talking about the thousands. All right, thousands of people dropped dead at that pilgrimage to Mecca. Okay, which this shows you that, Jake, you going off. All right, you going out there with them Ishmaelites, and you're partaking in a false religion. All right, you're calling upon a God that your forefathers did not know, and this is why the Lord allowed you to be judged in that, man. You see, the Lord is not pleased with you going out there to Mecca and bowing down to that pagan idol. You see, you know the Lord is not pleased with that, man. This is why he put you to death. See, once again, we're in the season of judgment, man. We can't say it enough. Let's check this out real quick.
And family is grieving this afternoon after 2 of their loved ones died during last week's extreme temperatures. The couple were among 1,300 people who died during a religious pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. DC News Now's John Marisa Say has more on the story.
Yeah, the couple were well known in the Sierra Leonean community, and they actually had 3 children and 4 grandkids. Their daughter says this is not easy news to even digest, and officials believe the couple died due to a heat stroke. Their daughter believes poor planning by a touring company may have played a role as well.
My parents meant the world to me. Anyone who knows me knows that they were my rock and soul.
And these is Israelites, man. All right? Because you have a lot of our people that are, on that west coast of Africa. You know what I'm saying? They from Sierra Leone. This is Jake right here, man. All right? Going off. Going to worship Allah. You know what I'm saying? Calling on Allah, going to the Kaaba stone. Which, all that is madness, man. All that is folly. It's not profitable. See, this is why when you made that pilgrimage with them Ishmaelites, and when you was dying of heat stroke, why didn't you call on Allah to save you? See, the Lord mocks you in your folly, Jake. You see, and puts you to death. But see, Jake want to continue to follow these false gods, because the scriptures say that they are God's many and Lord's many, but there's only one true and living power, and his name is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. You see? But yeah, man, Jake gonna continue on and continue to learn the hard way.
Worry didn't expect to get the worst news of her life during her visit home to Maryland.
It was just hard to hear. I'm still not able to truly comprehend it.
Last week, her parents, 65-year-old Aissatou and 71-year-old Aliyu Wuri, were missing during their pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. Days later, she learned they passed away. Officials told the family they died of natural causes. They believe it was a heat stroke.
I spoke to my mom, literally no exaggeration, 10 times a day. To go from that to knowing that I'll never get that again, I don't think that there are words to describe that feeling.
The couple traveled to Mecca, Islam's holiest city, with the touring company with nearly 100 others. But when they arrived, Saida says her parents told her the touring company did not provide the proper credentials needed to participate in the Hajj pilgrimage and also lacked transportation, food, and supplies needed for the week-long journey.
They had to fend for themselves. They had to buy a rice cooker to make breakfast, lunch, and
So you hear all of what they had to go through just to get on this pilgrimage. They had to buy a rice cooker. They wasn't given the proper provisions to make this Hajj. Why do you think the Lord did that to him, man? Because, Jake, you ain't supposed to be there. You ain't supposed to be over there doing that, Jake. So the Lord purposely made your journey rough, because really the Lord was judging you, man. And ultimately the Lord gave you that ultimate judgment, which is to put you to death. All right, because the Lord is tired of you Israelites, man, going to worship false gods. All right, we at the end of the world, and you still got Jake calling on Buddha. You still got Jake calling on Allah. You still got Jake calling on Krishna and Vunu and all these other gods, man. Which what have they done for you? What has Allah done for Jake, man? Here it is. You going over there to, bow down to some black stone, which women rub their vaginas on and men rub their phallus on, and kiss and all type of stuff, right? But you still in captivity. You still under the rule of the so-called white man. But again, Jake always, is gonna learn the hard way. Let's continue.
dinner just to survive, and it's already 110 degrees and you're not in a decent condition. It's too much. So I just hope that the agency isn't allowed to take anyone there, especially after each person paid $11,500. The return was nothing compared to what they expected.
Although the family is disappointed in the touring company, Saida says she's at peace. Her parents died while building their faith.
Knowing that this is what they really wanted to do and they died in such a holy place, it gives me a little bit of ease.
According to public records, the tourism...
And you can't make this up, man. All right? She just, matter of fact, let's just go back real quick, because that right there was crazy, man. That was wild. That's that strong delusion that the scriptures speak about, man. That's that strong delusion. Let's run it back real quick. Because she said that she was, basically comforted for the fact that they died in such a holy place, right? Man.
In such a holy place, it gives me a little to do, and they died in such a holy place. It gives me a little bit of ease.
According to public records,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But hey, that's Jake for you, all right? Instead of coming back to the one and true living God, you want to, follow these idols to death. You see? Yeah, and they was what? 65 and 71. You see? See, now they back in the spirit world, man. And all because they wanted to go worship some goddamn Kaaba stone. You see that? but that's Jake for you, man. Just completely bugged out, completely given over unto strong delusion. You see? And the Lord sent that plague of heat to judge them, right? It says here, Saida said her parents kept in contact with all of her siblings throughout the trip. They told her days into the trip that the company did not provide them with the credentials needed to complete their pilgrimage. Why? The Lord put the spirit on them not to do that, man. Because ultimately this was going to be your end, because you're going to worship another God, man. So the Lord judged you. Did not provide them with credentials needed to complete their pilgrimage and lacked transportation, food, and supplies needed during their week-long journey. And combined with the heat, come on, man. You're not, see, you went on a Hajj, which is supposed to be like a holy pilgrimage, right? And you ain't come back. So was that Allah's will? that you going to worship Allah, that you going to worship this sacred Kaaba stone, and you drop dead along with thousands of other people? Come on, man. Needed during their week-long journey. After a few days, they had to fend for themselves. They had to buy a rice cooker to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner just to survive. It's already 110 degrees, and you're not in decent conditions. It's just too much. I just hope that the agency isn't allowed to take anyone there, especially after each person paid $11,000 for. Yo, that's wild, bro. They paid. Yo, you can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up. Jake paid. Let's just call it 12,000. You know what I'm saying? And there's two of them, so 20. You know what I'm saying? Let's just call it 24,000. Jake paid 24,000. To go to Saudi Arabia, Mecca, and drop dead in a damn heat wave, man. This is madness. The return was nothing compared to what they expected. According to public records, the touring company is not in good standing with the state of Maryland. Wow. So Jake, you paid $12,000 just to go and drop dead, man. Wow. The Lord, hey. The Lord is cold, man. And the Lord puts you in such a strong delusion to really believe that you being righteous and holy to go on this Hajj, right? And pay $12,000 at that to take this. And now you back in the spirit world. Swear, you listen, you can't make this up, man. This is 2nd Ezra 16. And verse 37 says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, is when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth. Great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall the plagues, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. O people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You see? So these plagues and that plague of heat, that destroyed many people. All right? And this is a sign that, you know, this current age is on the way out, man, because the earth is alive and the earth is crying out, you know, through these certain, you know, plagues and, you know, weather patterns and stuff like that. You see? So yeah, you know, Jake, the Lord put Jake to death. You see? Because Jake, you was being wicked, man. All right, you were taken in your own conceit. All right, you believe that you was, you know, being righteous by going to serve Allah, you know, taking this holy pilgrimage and all of that, and you ain't make it back. Damn shame, man. But hey, these are the 2/3 of our people, man. All right. Each and every day, you see the 2/3 being judged. Let's close out on this. Ex-Goldman VP warns U.S. faces a point of no return in under 12 months. You seeing this? So we already know that this economy is on the way out. America is through, finished. You see what I'm saying? America's going to war. They're exhausting all their resources. The people here are not happy. But experts are warning that the U.S. is at a point of no return, and it's gonna happen in under 12 months. All right, so this collapse could happen in less than a year, man. Which you know, we see that we already there. If you believe the press, America's inflationary crisis is in retreat. That's what they're telling you. You know, jobs are, you know, back. The economy is better than ever, right? But we see the opposite though. Businesses are closing down. The housing market is trash. You know, even buying a new vehicle is out of reach for many people, right? Jobs are back, and the U.S. economy has nowhere to go but up. However, here's what the press is not telling you. America is dangerously close to a critical tipping point. According to my colleague, Dr. David Eifrig, within months, we could cross a financial Rubicon. Let's hold on. Let's go into that word Rubicon there. I know it goes back to like the Romans, you know, like Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon or something like that. Let's go into that real quick. Rubicon, a bounding or limiting line, one that when crossed commits a person irrevocably, right? So basically that Rubicon is a boundary that you really ain't supposed to cross, but America has already crossed that, right? And enter a whole new era in which millions more Americans find themselves struggling to stay afloat, all thanks to a dangerous point of no return financial event that, according to new research, could have a devastating impact on U.S. finances in less than 12 months. And yet a handful of Americans could actually get richer by taking we ain't gonna get into all that BS, because, you know what I'm saying, all this money, it ain't gonna mean nothing, man. You see? You know what I'm saying? All this money is gonna fail. You know? So yeah, man, you know, America's finished, man, you know. This place is going down, and it's going down rapidly. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out here. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakakadash. Call law. Yahweh Bashem El Shai Bashem Rakakadash. And until next time, shalom to the elect. On to the next one.